Anna's legs burned as she ran through the rain-soaked streets of Manhattan, her dinner dress clinging to her skin like a second layer of shame. Mascara streaked down her dark cheeks in black rivers. Her lungs screamed for air, but she couldn't stop. Not yet. Not while she could still hear her sister's laughter echoing in her skull. A sleek black car pulled up beside her, matching her desperate pace. The passenger window rolled down. "Get in, miss!" The voice was male, accented, commanding. Anna didn't care. She kept running. The car stopped. A door opened. Footsteps splashed behind her. "You're going to collapse." Closer now. "Please." Something in that single word made her stop. She turned, rain pouring over her face, and saw him. He was tall and was wearing a nice suit. Eyes that weren't looking at her body, they were looking at her pain. He held out a handkerchief, pristine white against the grey night. Anna stared at it. Nobody had ever offered her anything without wanting something back. "Just take it," he said quietly. Her hand shook as she reached for it. The fabric was impossibly soft. She pressed it to her face and finally let herself break, sobbing into a stranger's handkerchief in the middle of New York City, while rain hammered down like the sky was crying with her. "Get in the car," he said. Not a command. An invitation. "You'll catch pneumonia." "I don't know you." "No, but I'm not the one who made you cry and run in the rain." He tilted his head toward the open door. "My name is Kang Yu Jun, and right now I'm offering you somewhere dry. No strings, no price. The question is, will you take it?" Anna looked back down the street, toward the restaurant she'd fled from, toward her family. 23 years of their voices crashed over her. The ugly one. At least she's useful now. "We keep her around for charity." She got in the car. Yujun slid in beside her, and his driver pulled smoothly into traffic. Strangely enough, the interior smelled like safety. Anna clutched the handkerchief, her whole body trembling so hard her teeth chattered. "Where do you live?" Yujun asked. Anna's voice cracked. "I can't go back there." He studied her for a long moment. Something shifted in his expression. Then, "You'll stay at my place until you figure out what's next." "You could be a serial killer." "I could be." A ghost of a smile touched his lips. "But if I were, I'd be terrible at it. My housekeeper would lecture me about the mess." Despite everything, Anna almost laughed. The penthouse was obscene. Minimalist furniture that screamed money. She stood dripping on his marble floor, acutely aware of how out of place she was, how big she was in this sleek, perfect space. "Mrs. Johnson," Yujun called out. An older black woman appeared from a hallway, took one look at Anna's face, and her expression cracked open with recognition. She'd seen this before. A woman running from something. "Oh, honey." She moved toward Anna with maternal warmth that felt like a gut punch. "Let's get you into something dry. I don't want to impose." "Nonsense. You're not." Yujun's voice cut through her apology, firm, final. "Mrs. Johnson, the guest room, and find clothes that actually fit her." He looked directly at Anna, and there was something fierce in his eyes. Mrs. Johnson squeezed her shoulder gently and led her down a hallway to a bathroom bigger than Anna's childhood bedroom. Heated floors, rainfall shower, a robe waiting on a hook that looked cloud soft. "Take your time, baby," Mrs. Johnson said softly. "Nobody's rushing you here." Anna locked the door, stared at herself in the mirror. Mascara destroyed, hair plastered to her skull. Eyes swollen from crying. She looked exactly like what she was, broken. She slid down the wall and let the sobs come, the kind that tore through your chest and left you gasping. Hold on, my dear friends. How did Anna end up in a stranger's bathroom? Let's talk a step back, shall we? The celebration dinner had been her mother, Cara Sinclair's idea, announced over the phone 3 weeks after the bone marrow donation, to honour Anna for her sacrifice, she'd said, voice saccharine sweet. Anna had almost said no. The recovery had been brutal. They'd drilled into her hip bone and extracted marrow like she was a mine they owned. Her body still ached in places she didn't have names for, but her father had called next, voice heavy with disappointment. Your mother wants the family together. After everything she's been through, after everything we've done for you. There it was, the adoption card. She'd worn her nicest dress, black, because it was slimming. Did her makeup carefully, straightened her natural hair until her scalp burned and her arms ached. She'd wanted them to see her as beautiful. Just once, just one time, she wanted them to look at her and feel proud. The restaurant was expensive, the kind with cloth napkins and waiters who judged you. Anna had arrived early, nervous. Cara and Sebastian were already there, and Cara looked healthy, vibrant, alive because Anna's bone marrow was literally keeping her that way. There she is, Sebastian had said, not warmly, just acknowledging her presence because he felt like it. Cara had smiled. Anna, you look nice. Nice. Not beautiful. Not stunning. Just nice. The word you used when you couldn't find anything genuinely complimentary to say. Bethany had arrived 30 minutes late, as always, thin and glowing in a white dress that looked like it cost an arm and a leg. Their parents had exploded with affection. Sweetheart, you look absolutely radiant. That dress, oh my God, you're a model. Bethany had soaked it in, smiling that smile, the one Anna knew too well, the one that said, watch me be everything you're not. Anna had ordered water and tried to disappear into her chair. The dinner itself was suffocating. Cara talked about her recovery like it was her own doing. Sebastian discussed his golf handicap. Bethany scrolled through Instagram, occasionally showing their parents photos that prompted more praise. Anna pushed salmon around her plate and calculated how many more minutes until she could leave. Then Bethany stood. Champagne glass raised high, that familiar gleam in her eye. I want to make a toast, she announced, and the table quieted. To Anna. My sister. Anna looked up. What was she up to? Anna's always been there when we needed her, Bethany continued, voice dripping with false sincerity. And let's be real for a second. She paused, sipped her champagne. Anna's not much to look at, right? I mean, let's call it what it is. Sebastian chuckled, the ugly one, as Dad used to joke when we were kids. Bethany smiled wider. Dark-skinned, fat. Honestly, kind of an embarrassment when we're out in public together. Anna couldn't breathe. The room tilted. But you know what? Bethany raised her glass higher. At least she's finally useful for something. She saved Mum's life. And hey, if keeping the ugly charity case around means we have a backup donor when we need one, I guess she's worth the investment. To Anna, everyone. Our family's insurance policy. The table erupted. Cara laughed so hard she had to dab her eyes with her napkin. Sebastian slapped the table. Even the waiter smirked as he refilled water glasses. Anna sat frozen. Her heart pounded so loud she could hear it in her skull. Anna, don't be so sensitive, Cara said, still giggling. It's just a joke, sweetheart. We love you. You know that. But Anna looked at her mother's face, at the woman she'd nearly died to save, and she saw nothing, no love, no gratitude, just amusement at her expense. She looked at Sebastian. He was checking his phone, already bored. She looked at Bethany. Her sister was smiling at her, really smiling, enjoying every second of Anna's humiliation. Years of moments crashed through Anna's mind, every before photo they'd used her for, Every time they'd introduced Bethany first, every birthday where Bethany got a car and Anna got a gift card, every time she'd apologized for existing, they didn't love her. They never had. She was a thing they kept, a tool they used, and now that she'd served her purpose, they didn't even pretend anymore. Anna stood. Her chair scraped against the floor. "Where are you going?" Sebastian asked, annoyed. "We haven't even had dessert. I know that's your favourite part." Anna didn't answer. Her legs felt like water, but she forced them to move, one step, then another. Past the tables of strangers, past the host stand, out into the rain. And then she ran. Now, sitting in Eugene's bathroom, Anna pressed her palms against the cold tile floor and tried to remember how to breathe. The rage felt like fire in her chest. 23 years. She'd given them 23 years of trying to earn love that was never coming. Anna peeled off the wet dress and let it drop to the floor in a heap. She never wanted to see it again. The shower was rainfall style, and when the hot water hit her skin, she finally felt the cold leaving her bones. By the time she emerged in the robe, Mrs. Johnson had left pyjamas on the bed, soft cotton, the right size. Anna held them for a moment, something cracking open in her chest at this simple kindness from a stranger. She found Mrs. Johnson in the kitchen, brewing tea, chamomile. The older woman said without turning around. "Good for nights like this. How did you—" "I know a rough night when I see one." Mrs. Johnson poured 2 cups and gestured to the counter. "Sit, honey." Anna sat, wrapping her hands around the warm mug. The kitchen was massive but somehow felt cosy. Nothing like the sterile showcase kitchen in her parents' house, where Cara would make pointed comments about Anna's snacking. "You don't have to talk about it," Mrs. Johnson said gently, "but if you want to, know that I'm listening." Anna opened her mouth, closed it. Then, to her own surprise, started talking. She told Mrs. Johnson everything. The adoption when she was 3. How Cara and Sebastian had paraded her around like proof of their progressive values, then slowly relegated her to the background as Bethany grew into exactly what they wanted: the comments, the comparisons, the way they'd ask her to skip family photos, the bone marrow donation they'd guilted her into. "They didn't even ask me," Anna whispered. "They just told me Mum was dying and that I was the match, and that if I really loved them, I'd do it." And I did, because I kept thinking maybe this time they'd see me. Really see me. Mrs. Johnson reached across the counter and squeezed Anna's hand. Her eyes were wet. "Baby, listen to me. The way they treated you, that's not about you. That's about something broken in them." Anna nodded, but the tears came anyway. "You stay here as long as you need," Mrs. Johnson continued. "Mr. Kang already told me. The guest room is yours." "I can't do that." "It's all right. That man saw something in you tonight. Something worth protecting," Mrs. Johnson said. Before Anna could ask what she meant, Eugene appeared in the doorway, still in his suit pants and white shirt, sleeves rolled up. He looked tired but alert, and there was something commanding about him even in this casual state. "Mrs. Johnson, thank you. You can head home." He turned to Anna. "You should rest." Mrs. Johnson gathered her things and squeezed Anna's shoulder one more time before leaving. Then it was just the 2 of them in this enormous penthouse, and Anna suddenly felt very aware of being alone with a man she'd met 2 hours ago. Eugene seemed to sense it. He kept his distance, leaning against the far counter. "I'll stay out of your way," he said, "but you should know, you're safe here. I don't have expectations. Why are you helping me?" He was quiet for a long moment and something dark flickered across his face. "Because I know what it's like to be seen as useful instead of human." The way he said it made Anna's chest tight. There was a story there, pain that mirrored hers. I take it you know the guest room, he continued. Lock the door if it makes you feel better. There's a phone on the nightstand. Any problems you want to talk about, you can call Mrs. Johnson. Her number's programmed in. What about you? I'll be in my office. I have work. He straightened to leave, then paused. Anna? Yes. What they did to you tonight. That's who they are, not who you are. Remember that. He left before she could respond, and Anna made it to the guest room before the tears came again. But these felt different, not broken, not ashamed, just exhausted and strangely, impossibly hopeful. She crawled into the massive bed and let herself sink into sheets that smelled like lavender. For the first time in years, she felt safe enough to really sleep. Anna woke to the sounds of the city far below. She wanted to stay in bed and forget everything, but she can't run from reality. She was in Eugene's penthouse. She'd broken down in front of a stranger. What was she doing? Then she saw the clothes, laid out carefully on the chair by the window. Jeans, a soft sweater, underwear still in packaging, all in her size. Anna picked up the sweater, cashmere soft under her fingers, and her throat tightened. The tag said exactly her size. She dressed quickly, her body still aching from the donation recovery, and found her way to the kitchen following the smell of coffee. Mrs. Johnson was there, humming as she moved around the space with easy familiarity. Good morning, Mrs. Johnson, she greeted. Morning, baby. How'd you sleep? Better than I have in months. Anna hesitated in the doorway. Thank you again. For everything. I should probably go. Sit. Mrs. Johnson pointed at the counter, voice kind but firm. Breakfast first, then we talk about going anywhere. Anna sat. A plate appeared in front of her. Scrambled eggs, toast, fresh fruit, a normal portion, not the sad half-serving her mother used to give her with lectures about discipline. Eat, Mrs. Johnson said. And before you start with the guilt, those clothes were Mr. Kang's idea. He sent his driver out first thing this morning. He bought me clothes. Mrs. Johnson poured coffee, steam rising between them. That man doesn't do anything halfway. Anna stared at her eggs, something warm and terrifying blooming in her chest. I don't understand why he's being so nice to me. Maybe he sees something worth being nice to. Mrs. Johnson's smile was knowing. Revolutionary concept, I know. Anna ate slowly, and the food tasted better than anything she'd had in weeks. No guilt, no comments about portions. Just food and quiet company, and the morning light making everything feel almost normal. Eugene appeared 20 minutes later, dressed in a charcoal suit. His hair was still damp, and he looked like he'd barely slept. The clothes fit? He asked, pouring himself coffee. Yes, thank you. You really didn't have to. I did. He leaned against the counter, and Anna noticed the distance he kept. Careful, deliberate. Do you have a job? The question caught her off guard. I work at a bookstore in Brooklyn. Why do you ask? Call them. Tell them you need a few days. What do you mean? I can't. His voice was firm but not unkind. You need time to figure things out. I might not know the full story about what happened, but I know you need time to rest. I'm offering you that time. Anna's hands tightened around her mug. You don't even know me. No, but I know what running looks like. He held her gaze, and there was something fierce in his eyes. The words landed like a punch. Recognition passed between them, sharp and undeniable. My family built an empire, Eugene said quietly, and they built it on my back. I was useful, a weapon, a tool, never a son. He set down his coffee. So, yes, I know exactly what you're feeling right now. Anna couldn't breathe. What did you do? I took everything from them. No hesitation, no regret, and I built something they could never touch. The casual way he said it sent a chill down Anna's spine. This wasn't just a successful businessman. This was someone who understood revenge. Stay, he said simply. Figure out your next move. No pressure, no expectations, just space to breathe. Anna wanted to argue, wanted to insist she could handle this alone, but the truth was, she had nowhere to go. Her studio apartment was a place she could barely afford. Her family had made it brutally clear what they thought of her, and this man, this stranger who somehow wasn't a stranger, was offering her something no one ever had. Okay, she whispered. A few days. Thank you. Yoojun nodded once, then turned to leave. He paused at the doorway. Anna, yes? You're not a charity case. You're not useful. You're a person. Start believing that. He disappeared down the hall, and Anna heard him speaking Korean on the phone, his voice dropping into something cold and commanding that made her realize she had no idea who he really was. Mrs. Johnson caught her staring after him and smiled knowingly. He's got a good heart under all that ice, she said softly. It just takes the right person to find it. Before Anna could respond, her phone buzzed. She'd left it on the counter last night, and now the screen lit up with notifications. 12 missed calls, 23 texts, all from her so-called family. Anna's hands shook as she opened the messages. Mom. Where did you go? You embarrassed us. Dad. This dramatic exit is unnecessary. Come home so we can talk like adults. Bethany. Seriously? You can't take a joke. So pathetic. Mom. Anna, answer your phone. We're worried. Dad. Your mother is upset. Fix this. Anna felt the rage, building again hot and sharp. They weren't worried. They were annoyed, inconvenienced. She was ruining their narrative. Her thumb hovered over the reply button. Then she thought of Yoojun's words. You're a person. Start believing that. Anna blocked all 3 numbers and set the phone face down on the counter. Mrs. Johnson was watching her with quiet pride. Good girl. For the first time in years, Anna felt somehow free. Wait, before we continue, let me ask you something. Anna just told her family to get the hell out of her life. The people she nearly died to save. Have you ever given pieces of yourself to people who only wanted to use you? If Anna's pain is hitting too close to home right now, go ahead and hit that like button. It tells me these stories matter. That you need to see women like Anna, plus-size, dark-skinned, told she's the ugly one, finally get chosen by someone who sees her as priceless. Where love doesn't ask you to be useful. Where safety feels like finally being human. Where the man who offers you shelter doesn't keep a tab. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button right now so you never miss a moment of these stories where broken people find each other and love doesn't keep score. Now, let's see what happens when Anna's family realizes she's not coming back. Anna had been living in Yoojun's penthouse for 3 weeks when he made her an offer she didn't see coming. They were having dinner, not a formal thing, just takeout at the kitchen counter while Mrs. Johnson had the night off. It had become their routine. Yoojun would come home late, find Anna reading in the living room, and somehow they'd end up talking. Tonight, he set down his chopsticks and looked at her with that direct gaze that still made her nervous. I have a proposition for you, Anna. Anna's stomach dropped. Here it comes, she thought. The price. The catch. Nothing's free. I own a cultural centre in Midtown, Yoojun continued. Korean art, exhibitions, language classes. My manager just quit and I need someone to run the front operations, customer service, event coordination, basic administration. Anna blinked. Hold on a second. Are you offering me a job? I believe I am. He paused. A way out that doesn't involve depending on me or anybody. I don't know anything about Korean culture. You'll learn. You're smart. He said it like it was obvious, like her intelligence was a given. The pay is 60,000 a year. Are you interested? Anna's mouth went dry. 60,000. She made barely 20 at the bookstore. She wanted to wrap this man in a hug and never let go. Why would you do this? Because you need independence, and I need someone I can trust. Yoojun's expression softened slightly. Anna wanted to argue, but the words stuck in her throat. She'd been looking at apartments online, trying to figure out how to leave without overstaying her welcome. This job would change everything. Yes, 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 she screamed. Thank you so much. Yoojun nodded once and went back to his food, like he hadn't just handed her a lifeline. Anna moved into her own apartment the following week. Small, but hers. Paid for with her own money. For the first time in her life, she wasn't a burden or a tool. She was just Anna. She decorated it slowly, carefully, choosing things because she liked them, not because they made her smaller or more acceptable. Yoojun had offered to help with furniture, but she'd insisted on doing it herself. He'd understood. Some victories you had to claim alone. 2 weeks into her new job, Anna stood in the Korean Cultural Center with her name on the office door and felt like she was living someone else's life. The work was challenging, but good. She coordinated gallery exhibitions, managed event bookings, and slowly started learning basic Korean from the language instructors who thought her attempts at pronunciation were adorable. Yoojun still lived his mysterious life. They still saw each other when he'd stop by the center to check on things. They'd end up in her office, sharing coffee and conversation. One would think they'd been friends for years. Tonight, he appeared at 9 p.m., suit jacket gone, no tie, looking exhausted in a way that made Anna want to smooth the tension from his shoulders. Rough day? She asked, pouring him coffee from the pot she'd started keeping ready. You have no idea. Yoojun dropped into the chair across from her desk. I hate Wednesdays. What kind of business are you in exactly? Anna had been curious for weeks but never asked. Real estate, he said like a rehearsed answer. Boring corporate things. Anna didn't believe him for a second. She'd seen the men who came to meet him, the way they looked at him with fear and respect, the phone calls he took in Korean that ended with someone clearly getting threatened. You're lying, she said before she could stop herself. Yoojun's eyebrows rose. Excuse me, not completely lying, but not telling the whole truth either. Anna met his gaze. I'm not stupid, Yoojun. I see the security, the phone calls, the way people look at you like you could ruin their lives with a word. He was quiet for a long moment, something dangerous flickering in his eyes. Then, surprisingly, he laughed. You're right. Most people are too scared to call me out. He leaned forward, studying her. What do you think I do? Something illegal. Or at least morally grey. Anna's heart pounded, but she didn't back down. And to be honest, I don't care. You gave me my life back. Whatever else you do is your business. Yoojun studied her like he was seeing her for the first time, really seeing her. You should care. You should be afraid of me. Are you going to hurt me? Never. The word came out fierce, absolute. Like a vow. Then, I'm not afraid of you. Anna surprised herself with how true it was. Something shifted in Yoojun's expression. Heat flickered there, raw and undisguised, before he banked it quickly. He stood abruptly. I should go. It's late. But he didn't move toward the door. He moved toward her desk, stopping close enough that Anna could smell his cologne. Yoojun looked at her for a long moment, and Anna saw the war happening behind his eyes. Want versus caution, need versus control, desire versus the fear of breaking something precious. I'm going to leave now, he said finally, voice strained. He walked out, and Anna sat there with her heart racing and her skin too hot, wondering when exactly this had stopped being gratitude and started being something dangerous and inevitable. Her phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. Unknown. We know where you work now. We need to talk. Anna's blood went cold. She knew that tone, that casual entitlement. Unknown. Mom's not doing well again. She needs you. Family meeting tomorrow at the house, 2 p.m. Don't be selfish, Anna. It was Bethany. She'd gotten a new number just to reach her. Anna typed back. Anna. I'm not coming. Leave me alone. The response was immediate. Bethany. You don't get to just abandon us. Not after everything we did for you. We raised you. You owe us. Anna felt the old guilt clawing at her chest. The conditioning. Years and years of hearing, you owe us, and be grateful. And she was sick of it. Anna. No. I'm done. Don't contact me again. She blocked the number. Then she sat there shaking, waiting for the guilt to consume her. It didn't come. Instead, she felt something that might have been freedom. The next afternoon, Anna was coordinating a gallery setup when Ji-hoon appeared, Yoo-jun's right-hand man, Miss Sinclair. He bowed slightly. Mr. Kang would like to see you. He's upstairs. Anna's stomach flipped. Yoo-jun owned the entire building, but she'd never been to his private office on the top floor. The elevator ride felt endless. Ji-hoon said nothing, just stood there like a well-dressed sentinel. When the doors opened, Anna's breath caught. Yoo-jun's office had been transformed. Soft lights glowed everywhere. Candles lined the windows overlooking the city. And in the centre of the room, a table set for two with food that smelled incredible. Yoo-jun stood beside it, hands in his pockets, looking nervous in a way she'd never seen him. What is this? Anna whispered. Dinner. He gestured to the table. I made it myself. Well, I tried. Mrs. Johnson supervised. Anna moved closer, taking in the spread, Korean dishes she recognized from the center, American comfort food. Everything was made with care. Is it my birthday? Yoo-jun pulled out her chair. It must not be your birthday before I celebrate you, Anna. Anna sat, tears already burning behind her eyes. Yoo-jun sat across from her, and for the first time since she'd met him, he looked uncertain, vulnerable. Your family came to the center today, he said quietly. They demanded to see you. My security turned them away, but they made threats. Said they'd keep coming back. Anna's hands tightened on the table. I'm sorry. Don't. Yoo-jun reached across and took her hand. I'm telling you because I want you to know I handled it. My lawyers are visiting them tomorrow with a restraining order. If they violate it, they'll face legal consequences. Thank you, Anna breathed. I'm not finished. Yoo-jun's thumb traced circles on her palm. Anna, I need to tell you something. And I need you to listen without interrupting because if I stop, I might lose my nerve. Anna nodded, heart pounding. When I picked you up that night in the rain, I thought I was just helping someone in trouble. But then you stayed, and you made my penthouse feel like a home. You made Mrs. Johnson laugh. He smiled slightly. Yoo-jun. Tears streamed down Anna's face. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, I'm in love with you, Yoo-jun said, and his voice cracked slightly. I'm completely, terrifyingly in love with you, and I know it's fast. I know it's complicated, but I needed you to know that you're not alone anymore. You have me, for as long as you want me. Anna stood so fast her chair nearly tipped. She rounded the table and cupped his face in her hands. I love you too, she whispered. I've been trying not to, trying to convince myself it was just gratitude, but it's not. It's love. Yoojun stood, pulling her close, and kissed her with a tenderness that made her chest ache. This wasn't claiming or possession. This was worship, devotion, promise. When they broke apart, he pressed his forehead to hers. Come, let's eat, before it gets cold. Yoojun whispered. Anna's heart raced. Okay, everything looks good. They ate dinner slowly, and by the time they finished, it was late. They drove to Yoojun's penthouse in comfortable silence, his hand finding hers in the darkness of the car. Once inside, they settled on his couch, wrapped around each other. No pressure. Anna felt her eyes growing heavy, Yoojun's heartbeat steady beneath her ear. Then her phone lit up on the coffee table, 1 notification, then 3, then 10. Yoojun's arms tightened around her. Don't look at it. But Anna was already reaching for it, dread pooling in her stomach like ice water. 15 missed calls, all from unknown numbers. A voicemail notification blinked at her. Anna's hands trembled as she pressed play. Kara's voice filled the room, shaking and desperate in a way Anna had never heard before. Anna, please pick up. It's Bethany. Oh God, she tried to kill herself. She's at the hospital and she keeps asking for you. The doctors say she needs you. Please, baby. I know we've hurt you, but she's your sister. Please don't let her die thinking you hate her. The voicemail ended. Anna sat frozen, the phone clutched in her hand. Yoojun was already sitting up, his face hard. It's a trap. You don't know that. Anna. He turned her to face him. This is what they do. They manipulate. They make you feel responsible for their pain. But what if it's real? Anna's voice broke. What if she really tried to hurt herself and I ignored it? Then that's on them, not you. Yoojun's voice was firm. You are not responsible for saving them. Anna looked at her phone. Another text appeared. She's fading, Anna. The doctors don't know if she'll make it through the night. Please. Tears streamed down Anna's face. She hated that even now, even after everything, the guilt still had claws in her. I have to go, she whispered. I have to know if it's real. Yoojun's jaw clenched. Then I'm coming with you. No. Anna stood, already grabbing her jacket. This is my family, my mess. I need to do this alone. Anna, please. She looked at him and her voice was stronger now. I need to face them myself, to prove I can. Yoojun stood, pulled her close, and kissed her hard. When he pulled back, his eyes were fierce. Promise me that if anything feels wrong, if they try anything, you call me immediately. I promise. She left before she could change her mind, and Yoojun stood at the window watching her car disappear into the night, his phone already in his hand. He called Ji-hoon. We are following her. Get the car ready and bring some guys. Yes, sir. The address Kara texted led Anna to a private medical facility in Upper Manhattan. Too clean, too quiet. Not like any hospital she'd ever seen. Anna's stomach twisted as she walked through the pristine lobby. A receptionist smiled too brightly and directed her to a conference room on the 3rd floor. Not a patient room, a conference room. Every instinct screamed at her to leave. But what if Bethany really was dying? What if Anna walked away and her blood was on her hands? She took the elevator up, her phone clutched tight in her hand. The conference room door was open. Anna stepped inside and froze. Kara sat at a long table, perfectly composed, Sebastian beside her checking his phone, and Bethany, healthy and smirking, leaning back in her chair like she owned the world. You actually came. Bethany's laugh was cruel. God, you're so predictable. Anna's blood turned to ice. You're not hurt. Obviously not. Bethany examined her nails. But you came running anyway. Like the pathetic little lapdog you've always been. Anna turned to leave. The door slammed shut. A man in a security uniform stepped in front of it. Not hospital staff. Private muscle. Sit down, Anna. Sebastian's voice was cold, businesslike. We need to talk. Screw you, I'm leaving. No, you're not. Kara stood and there was no warmth in her face. No mother pretending to care. Just calculation. We've been very patient with you. This tantrum has gone on long enough. Tantrum? Anna's voice shook with rage. You humiliated me. Used me. I nearly died giving you my bone marrow and you called me the ugly charity at dinner. Oh, please. Bethany rolled her eyes. It was a joke. You're so sensitive. Sit down. Sebastian's voice cracked like a whip. The security guard moved closer. Anna sat, her hands trembling. Kara smiled, cold, satisfied. We've been presented with an opportunity. A medical tourism company is launching a new program in Seoul. They need diverse body models for their weight loss and wellness procedures. Anna's stomach dropped. They'll document your transformation, Kara continued. Before and after photos, video testimonials. You'll live at their facility for a year, undergo their treatments, and they'll pay us handsomely for your participation. What the hell are you talking about? Anna's voice was barely a whisper. Don't be dramatic. Sebastian waved his hand dismissively. We're giving you an opportunity to finally fix yourself, to become someone we can be proud of. And we'll be compensated for years of raising you, Kara added, for taking you in when no one else wanted you. Anna stared at them, at these people who'd adopted her, raised her, and never once seen her as human. No, she said. Bethany laughed. You don't get to say no. Watch me. Anna stood. I'm leaving, right now. And if any of you ever contact me again, I'll have you arrested. She moved towards the door. The security guard blocked her path. Move, Anna said. He didn't. Sebastian stood. Anna? Don't make this difficult. We've already signed the preliminary contracts. The company is expecting you. I don't care what you signed. Anna's voice rose. I'm not going anywhere with you. Sebastian moved toward her, his face darkening. You ungrateful little... The conference room door exploded open. Yujun walked in like he ruled the world. Ji-hoon and 3 other men behind him. His eyes locked on Sebastian's hand, reaching for Anna, and something feral crossed his face. He moved faster than Anna had ever seen. One moment Sebastian was advancing, the next he was on the floor, Yujun's fist connecting with his face with a sickening crack. Yujun! Anna screamed. He didn't stop. Another punch, then another. Sebastian's nose shattered, blood spraying across the pristine floor. How dare you! Yujun's voice was lethal, cold as winter. He grabbed Sebastian by his collar and slammed him against the wall. How dare you put your hands on her? Another punch. Sebastian's head snapped back. Ji-hoon had already secured the security guard, who wasn't stupid enough to fight back. Bethany and Kara cowered in her chair, finally understanding they'd pushed too far. Yujun pulled his fist back for another hit, and Anna saw the rage in his eyes. The kind of rage that didn't stop, the kind that ended with Sebastian in a hospital or worse. Yujun, please! Anna grabbed his arm, her voice breaking. Please stop! He froze, fist still raised, breathing hard. Sebastian sagged against the wall, face bloody and swelling. He bloody touched you, Yujun said, voice shaking. I know. Anna moved in front of him, hands on his chest. I know, but not like this. He deserves worse than this. He said, maybe. Anna's voice was steady now, strong. But I need you to stop, please. Yujun lowered his fist slowly. His jaw was tight, every muscle screaming violence, but he stepped back. For her. Ji-hoon moved forward. Sir, I can take him. No. Anna turned to face her family. Cara was pale. Bethany was crying. Sebastian was barely conscious. Call the police. I want them arrested. All of them. Anna, Eugene said quietly, I can make this go away. Permanently. You'll never have to see them again. Anna knew what he meant, knew what he was offering, and part of her wanted to say yes, but she shook her head. No, I want them prosecuted, legally. I want fraud charges, attempted coercion, whatever sticks. I want them in a courtroom where everyone can see exactly what they are. Eugene studied her face, and something like pride flickered in his eyes. You're sure? I'm sure. Anna looked at Cara. I want the world to know what you did, not just to me, to every adopted child who might end up in a home like yours. Cara's face crumpled, but she didn't say anything. Ji-hoon was already on his phone. Police are on their way. Eugene wrapped his arm around Anna, pulling her close. She was shaking, but she didn't look away from her family. You made me feel like I wasn't enough my entire life, Anna said. Like I owed you for existing. Like my body was something you owned. Her voice grew stronger. But I don't owe you anything. I never did, and I'm done letting you make me feel small. Bethany was sobbing now. Anna, please. We didn't mean... Yes, you did. Anna cut her off. You meant every word, every look, every comment about my weight, my skin, my worth. You meant all of it. Sebastian groaned, trying to sit up. Eugene's hand twitched, but he held himself back. Sirens wailed in the distance, getting closer. The police arrived within minutes. Anna gave her statement clearly, calmly, showed them the texts, the voicemails, explained the fake hospital, the locked room, the security guard. Eugene's lawyers appeared as if summoned, already filing paperwork. Cara, Sebastian, and Bethany were arrested. Anna watched them get led away in handcuffs and felt nothing but relief. When it was finally over, when the statements were given and the lawyers promised to handle everything, Eugene led Anna outside into the cold night air. She took a deep breath, then another. Are you okay? Eugene asked softly. Anna looked up at him, at this man who'd saved her twice now, who'd respected her choice even when every instinct told him to handle it his way. That was something to be honest, she whispered. Eugene pulled her into his arms, and Anna let herself break. Not from pain, not from trauma, but from relief so overwhelming it felt like being reborn. I've got you, Eugene murmured against her hair. Please don't leave me, Anna said. I want you forever. Fast forward to a year later. Anna's hands shook as she fastened the last button on her wedding dress, ivory silk, custom made for her body exactly as it was. No slimming cuts, just beautiful. She caught her reflection in the mirror and barely recognized herself, not because she looked different, but because she looked happy. A knock on the door made her turn. Come in. Mrs. Johnson entered, already dabbing at her eyes with a tissue. Oh, baby, you look absolutely stunning. Anna's throat tightened. You think so? I know so. Mrs. Johnson moved closer, adjusting Anna's veil with gentle hands. That man out there is going to lose his mind when he sees you. Anna laughed, but it came out shaky. I still can't believe this is real sometimes. Believe it. Mrs. Johnson squeezed her hands. You deserve every bit of this happiness. The past year had been a whirlwind. The trial had been brutal but necessary. Cara, Sebastian, and Bethany had all been convicted. Fraud, attempted coercion, conspiracy to commit human trafficking. The judge had been merciless, especially after Anna's testimony. She'd stood in that courtroom and told her story. Every painful detail, Cara had cried. Sebastian had shown no remorse. Bethany had blamed Anna for ruining their lives. The jury had deliberated for less than 3 hours. Cara got 8 years. Sebastian got 10. Bethany got 5 plus probation. None of them would be getting out anytime soon. Anna had walked out of that courthouse with smiles. The Korean Cultural Center had exploded under her management. Art exhibitions, K-pop dance classes, Korean language programs, a restaurant on the ground floor that was already getting reviewed by the Times. But Anna's proudest achievement was the foundation she'd started 6 months ago. Enough As You Are provided free counselling, career training and business grants specifically for plus-size women who'd faced discrimination, women who'd been told they weren't good enough, women who'd been laughed at, passed over, made to feel invisible. The first grant recipient had cried in Anna's office, "No one's ever invested in me before. They always said I needed to lose weight first." Anna had held her hand. "You're enough right now, exactly as you are." The foundation had already helped 23 women start businesses, go back to school, or leave abusive situations. Anna met with each one personally, shared her story, showed them that the people who tried to shrink you were always the ones threatened by your potential. Eugene had funded the whole thing without hesitation. "This is important," he'd said simply. "You're changing lives." Now, standing in her apartment, getting ready for her wedding, Anna felt like she'd lived 3 lifetimes in 1 year. "Ready?" Mrs. Johnson asked, softly. Anna nodded. "Let's do this." The venue was the Cultural Center. Of course it was. The gallery had been transformed with thousands of white flowers and soft lighting. Intimate. Perfect. Everything Anna had ever wanted without knowing she could want it. The guest list was small. Mrs. Johnson, Yoo Ji-hoon and several of Yoo-jun's crew, looking uncomfortable in formal suits, but genuinely happy. Staff from the centre, women from her foundation, some of whom had flown in just to be there. A few friends Anna had made over the past year. People who'd chosen to be there. People who loved her. No Sinclairs, not one. The music started. Anna took a deep breath. She walked down the aisle alone. No one to give her away, because she'd never belonged to anyone. She was giving herself, freely, completely. Yoo-jun stood at the altar in a black suit that made him look devastating. But it was his face that made Anna's breath catch. He was crying, actually crying. When she reached him, he took her hands. The ceremony was simple, no religious formality, just promises. The officiant smiled at them. "Do you have vows prepared?" Yoo-jun went first. He cleared his throat, and Anna saw his hands shaking. "Anna, a year ago you were running in the rain and I stopped because something told me to. Best decision I ever made." His voice cracked. "You taught me what it means to be seen as human. Not a weapon, not a tool, just a person worthy of love. You gave me that, and I promise to spend every day of my life making sure you feel the same, seen, valued, loved exactly as you are." Anna was crying now. Makeup be damned. "Yoo-jun," she started, and her voice shook. "You saved my life, not just that night in the rain. Every day after, you gave me space to heal, work that made me feel valuable, safety I'd never known, and love I didn't think I deserved." She squeezed his hands. "I was taught my whole life that I had to earn love, that I had to be useful to be kept. You taught me I was enough just existing. I promised to love you with that same fierceness, to see you, to choose you, every single day." There wasn't a dry eye in the room. Ji-hoon was openly crying. Mrs. Johnson was sobbing into a handkerchief. "By the power vested in me," the officiant said, voice thick with emotion, "I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss—" Yoo-jun didn't wait. He pulled Anna to him and kissed her deep. The room erupted in cheers and applause. When they finally broke apart, Both breathless and grinning, Yujun pressed his forehead to hers. "Hello, my wife." "Hello, my husband," she replied. The reception was joyful chaos, dancing, laughter. One of the women from Anna's foundation standing up to toast her, voice shaking with gratitude. "You didn't just give me money, you gave me permission to believe I was worth investing in." The centre staff presented them with a painting they'd all worked on together. Late in the night, Anna and Yujun swayed on the dance floor, the crowd around them fading into background noise. "Your reputation is completely ruined, you know," Anna teased. The fearsome Kang Yujun crying at his wedding. Yujun laughed, the sound rich and warm. "Good. I was tired of being the scary guy. What are you going to be instead? Happy." He kissed her softly. Just happy. Anna looked around at the people celebrating with them. Her chosen family. "I love you," she whispered against Yujun's chest. "I love you more," he whispered back. Above them, the lights of the cultural centre glowed warm and golden, and Anna Kang smiled. Not because her story had a happy ending, but because it had a happy beginning. Well, my dear friends, that's the end. I give you these stories because they matter, because somewhere, someone needs to hear that walking away doesn't make you ungrateful. It makes you free, because sometimes the family you're adopted into isn't your real family at all. Sometimes your real family is the man who stops his car in the rain, the housekeeper who makes you tea, the crew who shows up when you're trapped. If this story reminded you that you're allowed to stop apologising for existing, that being too much for toxic people just means you're exactly right for the ones who matter, hit that subscribe button right now. Because stories like this, where plus-size black women get chosen by men who see them as priceless, where love doesn't ask you to shrink, starve, or change. These stories aren't just entertainment. They're permission slips, permission to walk away, permission to take up space, permission to believe you were always enough. And I'm not done telling them. Drop a comment and tell me, would you have gone to that hospital? Or would you have blocked them the first time they called? And if Anna's story hit too close to home, if you've ever been the useful one instead of the loved one, drop a heart emoji below. You're not alone, and you deserve better.